I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Well, I got some cleanup to do, so I'm going to get out my trusty little Remington chainsaw and go after some wood that I got piled up out front. Now, just like the pole saw, I have to have some oil in the chain. So the best way to do that is just to fill a little chain opener. You know, this little thing here, little bottle. Now this is another one of my fix-ups that I've worked on a dozen times, if not one, if not more. And I recognize that it has the same faults and failures as the little chainsaw. Whatever oil you put in it comes out. There is no pump. It just puts oil in it, runs through, and lands wherever it lands. No shut off. So I try and operate it with that in mind. You know, I fill it up with just enough to do the job. No point wasting any more than what I have to. And I have 4 gasoline-powered chainsaws. Why don't I use one of those? Well, they're hard to start, and I'm lazy. And those two things working together mean that if I can just uncoil this cord using this handy reel, if it wasn't for the reel, I probably would think more about using the gas-powered chainsaws, because winding up cords is pain. But this reel makes it relatively painless. Nice thing I like about it is I plug this cord into the wall right over here on this outlet that I have put in there. Having outlets on your house, great idea. You want to have outlets everywhere. With the cord plugged into the outlet and the saw plugged into the cord, it's a simple matter. To start this chainsaw every time. No fussing, no messing. Just put oil in it, pull the trigger, and away she goes. So now I'm going to come out here and take these maple branches. What's that? How's that? What'd he do?
He came out and put a new line for me.
Really?
Yeah. He said it was like shredded at the end.
You know, he came in the house and he says, "Your neighbor's house wire is terrible." And I thought, well, yeah, okay, what are you going to do about it? Nothing, he just drove off. He said, "Your wire was zigzagged through the trees, it was a mess."
Yeah. He put mine over here.
Ah, good. So it's working now? Was it working before that?
It was working before that, yeah.
You know,
so
funny
I don't
thing.
know if I'm jiggling around or something, you know.
Funny thing I found out. When he was working on the wires, he said, well, the problem with your circuit was the wire that came across the road was damaged. Yours was hooked to the same wire. Yours was working, mine wasn't. I said, huh, well, maybe you don't use it as much as I do. I use mine all the time. Lydia and I are both on the internet all the time. So, anyways, he got it hooked up, started it, and I pay an exorbitant amount of money for an internet connection. I pay $130 a month
Oh my God.
for just internet. But I want to have it work because I get paid from putting up YouTube videos. So I want to get that. I want to get paid, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, well, that and Lydia does banking and everything. We do everything on the internet. So I go in the house, and he's got the wire changed. He comes in and says, check it. So I check it, and I'm getting 300 megabytes per second, which is like 10 times better than what I was getting before. And I said, actually 100 times better, because I was getting like 0. I said, wow, that's really great. And then I got to thinking, wait a minute. My plan says 800 megabytes per second. So I said, why aren't I getting 800? He said, well, you know, it'll give you what it's got. Okay. So I had a bad wire here. It's about 5 miles out to the satellite dishes out on 89. Wonder how many other connections between here and there are that have the same problem that mine did here. But yours was working, so I said, well, okay, it's probably just me. Sounds like it's a continuous thing all the way through all the circuits.
Yeah.
It's not just one little thing.
Yeah.
And this deal of me cutting the branch out of the tree so that they could climb the pole to fix the wire, that just frosted me. I thought, wait a minute. Consumers comes to me and says, you know, there's a tree down on the power lines out there about 40 miles away, and you're going to be without power till you get out there and cut that tree up, Dave. And I said, does that make any sense at all to anybody?
Does not at all.
No.
And he replaced the wire that came from their house in their yard till a year.
Yeah. So I got a new wire, I got a new cable, I know it's all good over to their house.
Yeah.
But what's wrong with their house?
I don't know.
Because I can only get 300, it's supposed to be able to give me 1200. I can pay for a plan that gives me 1200 megabytes per second. I'm still going to get about 50. That's all you're ever going to get. It's about 50 on average. Sometimes it spikes up, but usually it's about 50. So this whole time, it's all one big sales scam. Oh yeah, you can get 1200 megabytes per second. All you got to do is give us $170 a month, and we'll give you 1200 megabytes per second. And you go home and you turn on the Xfinity tester, and it says, yeah, you're getting 187. I go, oh, 187 isn't anything. I start checking other people's testers. Every other tester I check it with says 50. Xfinity says 187. And it only tells me what my download speed is. It doesn't tell me what the upload speed. Download speed's about 10 times faster than upload. So they're just lying through their teeth. All the way around. Lying through their teeth. But aren't we glad we got them?
Yeah, I was just like a day and a half without it. It's like, what do you do? You know, like.
My son lived in Kalamazoo, and he had Spectrum. Never had a problem, never had a glitch, never had a flip, flutter, nothing. Worked, just worked. You can't get Spectrum out here because Xfinity owns Richland.
I'm sure.
I don't know who they paid off, if they did pay anybody. That's no guarantee that they did pay anybody, but if they did, they paid off somebody pretty good because it's sticking. But anyways, I'm going to cut this stuff up so I don't have to cut it up. And hopefully, I'll keep working for a while. So another tree falls or grows. Sorry about your internet going down. Sorry, I couldn't hear you over the trucks. Yep. the trigger, it stops moving. I don't have to worry about dropping it, having it skip over and land on my leg, anything else. I just pull the trigger and go. Problem is that cord. It's right in the way. No matter what I do, no matter where I go, the cord's trying to wrap around my feet. Well, what was that Jim Croce song? When the cutting was done, the only place it wasn't bloody was on the soles of the big man's feet. Well, I'm not bloody at all, so I'm stopping right here. I'm going to go rest a little bit. Then I'll come out and stack this stuff up. And then the great internet fiasco is done. At least for now. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching. And stay away from Xfinity. They are really bad.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.